What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Bears Media Co. I am your host, Brent C. And check it out, Bears fans. Ben Johnson had his weekly press conference. And let me tell you this guy is excited for what the future holds for our team. And that means, hopefully, more winning, more excitement, and of course, more good times for us Bears fans to talk to other franchises about. Now, look, Bears fans, coming off the win against the Las Vegas Raiders, our Ben Johnson, our illustrious head coach, he got in front of the cameras and he said this. He is extremely proud of this team for coming through. Something that he knew once, the team itself and the coaches started seeing the game a little bit better and seeing what the players can do in certain situations, especially high stress situations. He was extremely happy after what happened. So, what else did he say? Well, for one thing, proud of Caleb, telling Caleb that, hey, you were built for this, which is exciting to see when a head coach can stand up in front of the cameras and say, hey, you are the guy that I came here for. You are the guy that this franchise is on your shoulders, but you can handle it. And with that, everyone has to be excited because as the number one pick from over a year ago, Caleb Williams has the talent. He just needed the coaching to get him together. And I do believe that we got it. Now, positive things. Offense, looking very well, getting the ball out quickly, and as well, timely runs that help extend drives. Now, one thing that I've said, Bears fans, is we got to get the tight ends involved. And in some of the plays against the Raiders, I noticed we had 3 tight ends out there in certain situations. And a few of those came in, where the offense needed to play. All right, Bears fans, Ben Johnson said this, looking at his offense, he liked where they are, but he will take this time during the bye to look at all things. How is that run game going? How is the receivers blocking? How are our tight ends blocking, getting out of their breaks? Also, and more importantly, what can he, as the play caller, what can he do to better help and to better call plays? What can he do? Now, self-assessment is an awesome thing, especially when you're in charge of a football franchise who probably in the past few years has not took accountability for their actions and what the product is that they put on the field. Now, Ben Johnson, our head coach, he is one of those guys that does not mind saying, hey, I made a mistake. And he did. Saying that, when sometimes his calls aren't in rhythm to what the team is doing out on the field. But he says he has to get better at that. And he believes that himself and his coaching staff will get better as time goes on. Because we have to remember, Bears fans, a lot of these guys are veterans. A lot of them have been coaching for years. Some of them even played in the NFL. So we have to understand this is new, but not new at the same time. Also, Ben Johnson saying, hey, our run offense has got to get better. Once we get to, running the football, not just on outside runs, where it seems that DeAndre Swift is doing most of his damage, but running the football consistently up the middle to wear down the interior of a defensive line, that seems like something that maybe we'll see more of going forward. And I think in this bye, looking at the tape of all 4 games that we've had so far, hey, they're going to see some consistencies where I believe he will be able to, let's say, make adjustments. Making adjustments as far as our run blocking, offensive line, making sure they're in the right place, making sure everybody is staying on their feet. A lot of times I've seen that some of our offensive linemen, certain plays, someone is always on the ground, and that cannot be. Now, looking at our defense, Ben Johnson said this: hey, fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. At least 5 or 6 times he mentioned we have to get better at our fundamentals, tackling. He says that run tackling, hey, we have to get better. Noting that Ashton Genty, a lot of his yards came after getting hit. Now look, we all saw that Ashton Genty, hey, that guy was like a bowling ball, and our tacklers were looking like pins. He was definitely shedding tackles left and right. And like I said, when a 6'4", 250-pound plus Tremaine Edmonds goes in to hit him and he bounced back at least a yard or two, listen, fundamentals have got to be a part of the game. We all know this. Of course we do. So going forward, I see that tackling dummies are going to be a big part of practices going forward. Now, overall, Ben said that, hey, our coaching staff, especially on the defensive side with Dennis Allen, it's got to get better. We have to get better on the defensive side as far as tackling and as far as execution on a lot of plays where some of our defenders are getting caught up in the muck close to the line, not shedding blocks fast enough. And that is something I do believe Dennis Allen, our defensive coordinator, will work on, especially with an extra week of practice. Now, getting back to our offense, Bears fans, 2 people who he talked about. First, Theo Benedict. As we know, Darnell Wright did not play in this game because of an elbow injury, but he had praise for Theo being at right tackle and then later in the game switching over to the left side where Ben said that, hey, in the run game, it was no different left or right. He did extremely well. One guy who received praise from our head coach on offense, the offensive line to be exact, Theo Benedict. Now listen, coming into this game, he started off at the right tackle. As we know, Darnell Wright was injured with an elbow injury that he received from the last game against the Cowboys. So starting off on the right side, hey, Coach Johnson said he's seen a guy that run blocking wise was very good. And in the pass block sets was extremely good, which is something that we all can say going up against Max Crosby. Hey, it was a task that most rookies wouldn't be able to handle very well, in my opinion, but he did extremely well. Now, moving over to the left side, Ben Johnson said, hey, in the run game again, he did an excellent job. Pass pro, there are still some things that he needs to clean up, which going from right to left, even though, what we, the average fan, would say it should be easy to do or whatnot. But we got to understand, Bears fans, in the pro game, it's a different level. It is a different level. And switching up in game from one side to another, hey, your technique has to be extremely good. But Ben Johnson says that, hey, he will get better. And as of note, after the bye, we will see if Braxton Jones will return, because as it is known now, Braxton was benched for Theo. So that is something we need to keep our eyes out for going forward, especially right after the bye when we get to the Washington Commanders on the road. Now, another guy who we talked about extensively about seeing, hey, Ozzy Trapilo, rookie second rounder. Bears fans have been beating the table to see him at some point. And we got our chance against the Raiders, where he came off the sidelines, taking over the right tackle spot, and, in Ben Johnson's words, performed admirably. So, what can we do going forward as a team? Ben Johnson says, reps, reps, reps. That is the only way these guys are going to get better. And it is one of those things that they are seriously considering having both rookies out there for more games. So we shall see. Now you let me know, are you excited? Are you excited to see the rookies out there with these veteran interior linemen, hey, that we've been looking to have in past years? Now let's get to the next guy that Ben Johnson says high praise on. And of course, we all know Caleb Williams. Now, one thing he said about Caleb, hey, here is a guy, as I said, is built for this type of thing. And one of the things that Ben said he loved in this game against the Raiders is how that, he's processing the information quicker. He is definitely getting the ball where it needs to go. Does he have things to clean up? Absolutely. But I believe we're going to get there, Bears fans. And I might even say we are ahead of schedule of getting Caleb Williams to top tier quarterback play. Now, one area, as I've said, the Bears are going to have to get better at. We're going to have to get better at running the football. Now, once again, Roschon Johnson got no play. What is going on with that? I wish somebody would ask. Now, Kyle Monangai, our rookie, 7th rounder, I believe, got in the game and got some decent yards while he was in there. But can we trust the rookie to play more, not just in running the ball, but in pass blocking? Someplace where I've said he definitely needs to get better with, and that Roschon is definitely better at. So going forward, I'll be looking at who is that number 2 running back. And Roschon, if he is not getting it together, believe me, he probably will not be here next year. So with that, Bears fans, I'm going to get up out of here. The bye is here. An opportunity for all of us to rest and not be stressed out on a Sunday. Hey, I hope all of you out there have a great weekend. And listen, if you're not doing anything Saturday, check out my Illinois Fighting Illini. Hey, we're going to Purdue, Lafayette. We're going to play a team that, always plays us rough, even though they suck for the most part, right? So with that, Bears fans, as always, as usual, I'm going to get out of here. And as always, imparting from me to you. Peace.